The learning is Nishmas Etta Ahuva bas Yaakov. Maseches Nedarim Perek Gimel, Mishna Gimel. We're up to the fourth of the Nedarim that the Chachamim were matter without Sheila. Nidrei Einzin. The fourth one is Nidrei Einzin. So there's going to be two Eifanava. This one is Mishna Gimel, one is Mishna Daled. Mishna Gimel is Hidiru Chaveru Sheyechel Etzlai. His friend makes a neder to him that he should come to his house. In other words, he says, if you don't come to my house, you can't have any hana from me. So he wants him to come to a meal. And then at the end of the day, so the obvious question is first that we said in the Mishnah Aleph, Rabbi Eliezer ben Yaakov said that Haroitza lahades chaver sheyechel etzlei, we said such a neder is not chal because that's nidrei ziruzin. He was only doing it to get to him to come, but really he didn't have das to aser all his stuff on his friend. So the Gemara asked that question. The Gemara says that even Rabbi Eliezer ben Yaakov over here will be masking that the neder is chal because we're not talking about that the host initiated the neder, rather the guest was invited to someone else's house and he would rather go to this host's house. So therefore he tells him to make a neder, and this way he'll be able to go to this house. So therefore, avada, he wants the neder to be chal, and it's not a nidrei zeruzin. The chalohu, what happened? At the end of the day, he wasn't able to come to the host's house. He got sick, or his son got sick, he got stopped by a river. So he was a anas, and he wasn't able to be mekayim the neder. Harei elu nidrei einsin. So these are nidrei einsin because he didn't have das, adaita dahachi, he loy nidra. He didn't make his neder al das that such an einus will happen. Mishnah Daled, noidrin laharagin ulcharam ulmoichlim. A person can make a neder to reitzchim or people that are gazlanim that are taking away his property, or tax collectors that are taking away his property. And the Gemara asks, what do you mean? Tax collectors are allowed to take away property because dina de malchusa dina. So the Gemara says we're talking about a tax collector that takes without a kitzur, without a set amount. Such a tax collector is not allowed to take. Or it's talking about someone who was self-appointed, not by the king, and he is not allowed to take. The Ran points out that that's dafka by malchei oivei kechavim, that you say that dina de malchusa dina, but by malchei Yisrael, since Eretz Yisrael, everyone is shutfin, you don't say dina de malchusa dina. But al kopana, we're talking about a muchis that's lahalacha, not supposed to be taking away your property. He's stealing. So for him, we're matter you to make a neder to avoid giving him the property. What type of neder are you going to make? So shehi truma, you're going to say that the property that you want to take is really truma, therefore you can't take it. Afal pi she'ena truma, even though in fact it's not truma. Or shehin shel beis hamelech, you say that it's the king's afal pi she'ena shel beis hamelech, even though it's really not the beis hamelech. So the Gemara explains that the neder you're making is that if it's not true, if it's really not truma, or if it's really not the beis hamelech, then all the peiros of the world will become aser, ami, but in your mind you're thinking dafka hayom, it's dafka going to be aser today. So even though you said stam, and normally we say dvarim shebelev einam dvarim, but over here we're going to go baser your machshava legabe anasim, to get out of paying the taxes. We're going to go baser what's in your heart, and the neder, since in your heart you were thinking that it should only be aser today, and therefore such a neder you can eat peiros tomorrow and you don't have to worry about it. So this is another example of nidrei anasin. In other words, in Mishnah Gimel, the anasin was that you weren't able to be mekayim the neder, and over here you were forced to make the neder. The Mishnah continues with three machlokes Beis Shammai and Beis Hillel about the neder that you make to anasim. Beis Shammai limits the neder, and Beis Hillel says that you can make even more of a neder in all four cases. Beis Shammai says bakol noijin chutz mishvua, you can't do it in a lashon of shvua. Beis Hillel imrim af b'shvua, even though shvua is more chamer, you could do in shvua. The second one is Beis Shammai imrim leyiftach lebeneder, you can't be the one to initiate the neder. You have to wait for the muchas to bring it up. Beis Hillel imrim af yiftach le, you could initiate it. Beis Shammai imrim, the third one is b'ma shehu madira, you can only make the neder in that which the muchas says. So if he says that it's truma, so you can make a neder about truma. You could do it in something else also. Ketzah, what's an example? Amrloi and more koinem ishti nenasli. But Omar koinem ishti ubanav nenasli. Dahainu, the Muchas said that make a neder that your wife can't have enough from you if what you're saying is not true. And you say, not only will my wife, my children also won't have enough from me if what I'm saying is not true. So Beishamay Oimrim, Ishtoi Muteres Ubanav Asurim, because such a neder works. Beis Hillel Oimrim, Elo ve'elo Mutarim, because Beis Hillel, L'shitase holds that since Nidrei, it's considered Nidrei Nasim, even if you're being Neider, even that which he didn't bring up, and therefore, such a neder is not going to be Chal.